know I got it made. Six if you haterade, I keep it G, Gatorade, cause it's game time. So I gotta shine, cause it's game time. Top spot is mine, cause it's game time. Leave it all on the line, cause it's game time. It's game time. Yeah, Block's about to kill it. Yeah. Listen to my words, man, you know I be the realest. Running on E, still give it all I got. Yo, the game's on the line, and I'm Jordan for the shot. So bang, swish, that's the game winner. You looking at a veteran, you really a beginner. Signs still delivered.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Center Court. We're so glad you're back to join us. Next to me is my partner in crime, Derek. Sup, Diba?
What's going on, Talar? What's going on? You good?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling real good.
We have so much to talk about.
Oh, I know.
And our beloved Boston Celtics are still in the playoffs, which
they still in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
They working.
They're putting in all the work.
You know what I'm saying?
Eastern Conference Finals. Let's get right to it. Why waste any time?
Exactly.
Celtics, Cavs. Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics are up 2-0 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. First two games at the TD Garden. That's what you like to see. That's what you work all year for.
That's right.
Thoughts about the series? How are you feeling so far?
Let me tell you, I like what I saw. I was actually at Game 2, best game I ever been to as a Celtics fan. And the Celtics looked so poised out there. You know what I mean? Like, you forget that Tatum's a rookie, that this is Jaylen Brown's second year. This is Rozier's, I think, third year?
Third year.
It's unbelievable how these guys are coming together right now. But I like what I'm seeing. These guys looking like a championship team right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it. I don't think anyone was expecting them to go up 2-0. I wasn't. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
I was just like, man, Cleveland's just like, Cleveland. Like, they're Cleveland. They have LeBron. They have the veteran guys, everything. But you watch this game, and you watch how the Celtics do things. The Celtics are younger, yes. But they're faster, they're quicker, and they're tougher. And you know what? They're making the smarter basketball plays.
Of course.
And my guy in this series, obviously, my love for Al Horford is well known.
It's still that's still my guy.
And he's a big reason why they're even in this position.
Of course.
But Jaylen Brown.
Oh yeah.
No one on that team on Cleveland can guard that man. Because if you send LeBron to guard Jason Tatum, who guards Jaylen Brown? You send him to guard Jaylen Brown, who guards Jason Tatum?
Good question. Good question.
And Jaylen Brown's growth has been unreal because he went last year to barely playing to this year. The aggression he plays with, the dude's fearless. He wants to go in and take over the king's throne.
Exactly.
He's like, no, enough.
No fear. We show no fear. That's what I love about this team. They're not scared of, the king's throne or whatever. They're gonna come challenge it and they're gonna come go for it, and that's what they're doing right now.
And it's contagious. It starts Marcus Smart.
That's my
Luke
guy.
Morris.
That's my guys. Those are my
Fearless.
guys.
Al Horford's not going to be afraid of any.
Oh, no.
This is not. And if you're, I want to touch on. We'll get into the Toronto Raptors a little bit later, but I want to touch on for quick. If you're a Toronto Raptors fan and you're looking at this series, how mad are you? Because you're sitting there and you're like, we had all the offensive weapons, but your team is like terrified of Cleveland for some reason.
Oh.
I'd be so pissed.
I'm sad for them.
Yeah.
I'm sad for them.
It is sad. You had such a great season. You had expectations,
it's a waste.
number one seed.
Absolute waste. And I think they're going to be cursed. We'll talk about this later, but they're going to be cursed for a long time, in my opinion. But Caesar playing phenomenal ball
It's
right now.
Just through and through. I mean, they're undermanned, but the guys off the bench even are coming in. And Semi Ojeleye is... I love watching the NBA draft. So when they drafted him, second round, all I heard was, kid's a steal.
Yeah.
The fact that they got him in the second round where they got him, genius move.
Oh, yeah.
And, he looked a little lost. He's still finding his offense. He was the leading scorer for Larry Brown last year at SMU.
Yeah.
Or whenever Larry Brown was there. So he has a game.
Oh, yeah.
But the dude's defense is... Oh my gosh.
It's just lovely.
Celtics Twitter calls him combat muscles. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen that, but that's a funny nickname.
Have you seen the dudes? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. No, I just love how he's just another body we can throw a Braun.
Yeah.
He's young.
More strength.
That's what I love about our team. We can just throw multiple defenders at LeBron. My man Mook Morris.
I
You seen
love
him?
him.
Tell me you saw him game 2 when he screamed at Tristan Thompson.
I hate Tristan Thompson, so it was perfect.
Yeah, I have a low. Yeah, I'm not feeling him either. But let me tell you, like, cause I was at the game when the whole crowd was. I felt that. I felt that rawness come out, you know. So he's locking them up. Well, he's doing the best he can. He's doing good.
Yeah, and I mean, if you statistically look at him against LeBron went off. I mean,
Yeah,
it was expected.
yeah.
But him against LeBron, when you break it down, he's actually doing a really good job against LeBron. So when he's talking big, he's backing it up.
Of course.
It's like 5 points, 6 points against Mook Morris, LeBron is. It's not, and he has turnovers and this and that.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing a great job. The team's doing a great job. They're playing as a unit. They're playing as a team with good strategy, good focus. And listen, everyone's talking about Brad Stevens, and they should be talking about Brad Stevens because this guy's pulled together a team full of, young guys, Al Horford, Mook Morris, and a bunch of guys under the age of 25.
Exactly.
And yes, the narrative is they lost Kyrie, they lost Gordon, they lost Daniel Tice, who's also a low-key big part of this team.
Oh, yeah.
They're done. And yes, he has, number 3 overall picks everywhere. But for guys to figure that out at 19, 20 years old, Sacramento's full of number 3 overall picks.
Of course.
And they're trash. Phoenix is full of lottery picks.
Of course.
It should be more about how Brad has gotten these young guys to buy in and how good of a job. Credit the players for being like, hey, let's put this aside. Let's do what coach wants us to do. Let's work as a team. They've done such a good job growing themselves individually and just believing in each other and letting Al Horford help them set a tone, veteran presence.
Big one.
Needed that.
Big one.
I can't credit enough. You can look and credit one guy. It's all such a unit.
Oh, yeah.
Together that you can't help but admire it.
That's what I'm saying. That is what is defining this series right now.
Insane.
You see the Celtics playing that team basketball, great head coaching by Brad Stevens. And then you look at Cleveland right now, and it's the LeBron show and the other Cavaliers. You might get a good game here or there from Kevin Love, but I haven't seen anybody else step up to the plate, and you can't beat us with one person.
No.
Doesn't matter who you are. So that's what I love about this series right now.
Yeah, my director's loving it over there. He's a big fan of the Celtics. New fan, I should say. He's much more involved in the NBA now than he used to be. So
good.
Big props to Danny. Great job.
There's still room on the bandwagon, y'all. If y'all want to join the Boston Celtics bandwagon right now.
Getting full, though.
Yeah.
Getting full.
But,
as a fan you're a through and through Celtics fan, so I'm sure you were there just like I was when they had Jordan Crawford.
Oh.
And Vitor Favorani.
I've been through the struggles.
You go through, and when Marcus Smart was a rookie, and so to go from that team to watch every year the way they've grown, it has been the most, I'm going to describe it as beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's just crazy growth, and you admire it so much because
it's beautiful.
You've seen the way Danny Ainge has turned this roster upside down. Yeah. And last year, this team almost got swept by Cleveland if it wasn't for that Avery Bradley 3 at the end of Game 4, Game 3.
One of those games.
One of those.
Yeah.
And he flipped this roster on its head, and now look who's
it's
up 2-0. Look who has the physicality and the length. They're longer. They're taller. Match up with anybody.
The NBA got to be scared. If we out here 2-0 right now and we don't have Kyrie and Gordon, next year, our time is now. Don't get me wrong, but next year when we're fully healthy, that's scary.
And I would like to put people on notice in case people are forgetting exactly how good Kyrie and Gordon Hayward are.
Absolutely.
I kind of want to put you guys. Kyrie Irving, first of all, is an unreal point guard. And if you are a casual fan, you're not, maybe you've seen him play a few times and you're like, oh, well, Terry Rozier can do the same thing. Kyrie Irving is on another planet.
Absolutely.
Last year in the playoffs, he tweaked an ankle and then he scored 24 points for the Cavs. Against the Celtics. He just went off against Avery Bradley, who's an amazing defender when he was here. the dude's unreal. And playoff Kyrie, I wish we could have seen him this year, but that dude is something to really, like, he's a spectacle. He's very, very good, and he's going to get better next year.
Couldn't agree more.
He still has a lot of growth to do. And Gordon Hayward, which, listen, he played in Utah, so not a lot of people got to see him.
Yep.
He played here for 5 minutes. Preseason, you got some action out of him. But really, I want to touch upon him because he played in the slowest offense in the league when he was in Utah, and he averaged 20.2, I think, points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Stevens plays one of the fastest paces in the league. You don't think that's going to jump to like 24, 25 points
Of course. I mean, don't knock the fact that they played together at, what's it called, Butler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just the chemistry's already there.
Here's the thing about all those guys. The Celtics are made up of smart guys. On and off the court.
Of course.
These guys are very, very smart. And you have high intellect guys playing on your basketball court. They're gonna figure it out a lot quicker. Why do you think Jaylen Brown's figured it out a little faster? Jason Tatum's figured. These are high IQ guys.
Absolutely.
Al Horford's a high IQ guy. It's important to draft guys who are smart and physically capable.
Exactly.
A lot of GMs don't really care if you're smart. That's why a lot of people, when they drafted Jaylen Brown, were like, "Why would you draft him?" And Danny Ainge was very impressed with how smart he was, how he carried himself. You got to draft good guys to build a team like this, build a poised team like this.
That's it.
You know, it starts from draft day.
It does.
It's all about that. It's all about scouting. It's all about getting it right.
I couldn't agree more.
You know, so great ECF. Hopefully, 4 or 5 games, we're done.
Hopefully, we take that next step. I'm ready.
It's
I
exciting.
know Boston ready. We ready. So let's get there.
So let's bump to the Western Conference Finals.
Let's talk about it.
Warriors, Rockets. Rockets are not my favorite team. I'm not a James Harden fan. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't like his style of play.
Oh.
Dribble.
He's ISO.
Flop, and complain, but I can't stand it. The dribbling drives me insane.
I agree.
I like Golden State because of their system.
Yeah.
Like, the players are fun. I love Steph Curry and the whole thing. But they're just like the Celtics system, which is pass, defense. And it's just like the Spurs. It's beautiful to watch basketball when everything's working like that.
Mm-hmm.
So to watch James Harden just pound the ball into the floor for 20 seconds out of the shot clock, it drives me insane.
Just like it drives every NBA defender insane. That's why he's the MVP. Just the way he can ISO that ball and just take over. He dictates the game. And that's why sometimes it's like, it's hard to watch because it's like he'll just hold on to the ball. And then when it's time to make his move, get to the line, take a shot, that's when he'll do it. And that's what makes him.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's great. It's just I personally.
No, I know. Yeah, exactly.
That series is 1-1. Golden State looked not the best last night. I'll tell you that right now.
It's all right.
I think Steph Curry tweaked an ankle, which is a concern. They got pounded by the Rockets. I don't know who. I honestly have no idea who's winning that series. That's the one series that could go either way very easily.
I hear you. Yeah, game 2 we saw what's called a playoff high from PJ Tucker. Mm-hmm. We saw Ariza get into it. James Harden took over. Chris Paul had his game. We saw Houston come together with their bench, and they showed why they're the number 1 team in the West. And it was overdue. Game 1 wasn't their best game, and they came in and they did it. Me personally, I still think Golden State's going to win the series.
It's really hard to bet against.
It's hard to bet against KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond. That core. I think they're gonna win in 7. I think it's gonna be one of those series where it's very competitive. I don't know, it could go either way. But if I was a betting man, I'm taking Golden State.
Yeah. I mean, until you knock them off, you have to take
Exactly.
them,
Exactly.
And that's how it goes. And it could end up being, if the Celtics make it to the finals, which would be unreal and crazy
awesome.
and just fantastic, they have the tools to match up really well, even with their injuries. They have the tools to match up really well with the Rockets and the Warriors. And if you've watched any of those games this year, Celtics versus Rockets, Celtics versus Warriors, all those games went down to the wire.
Yes.
The Celtics beat both of those teams at least once this year. And then they lost to the Warriors at home in Golden State. Kyrie put up like 37 or something. He plays insane against them, which if they go to the finals and there's no Kyrie and it's Golden State, it hurts.
That's my That's my pain right there.
But they have, here's where it comes in when you have multiple defenders.
Okay.
Just like you have for
Yep.
LeBron, Mook, Marcus Smart, Semi Ojeleye, Al Horford can switch on to anybody, just
Exactly.
like a Draymond Green can. They have Jaylen Brown.
Tatum.
You have guys who can match up with this. And if you have a guy like James Harden who's ISOing, we have an individual defender who can take care of that. That's not a problem.
Absolutely.
Like, he might make his shots, that's fine. But you have multiple guys, multiple looks.
Absolutely.
You know, you have a coach who can help put it together.
We're still the #1 defense in the league, no matter what.
Anchored by Al Horford, who's
My
the
man.
#1 defender on the #1 defense in the league.
Plata no power.
Can somebody give this man some defensive love? Like, he's
Al
not
Horford-
up for defensive player.
Al
of the year,
Horford
and
just needs more love in general. I've been trying
really
to I've been
does.
trying to speak the gospel to y'all. He is that piece. Veteran leadership and just the anchor to everything. I've been trying to say, nobody listening to me.
Who's the MVP of the Celtics?
Al Horford.
There you go.
Doesn't matter.
I've been saying it since day one. He's the kind of under the radar guy.
Absolutely.
You need to win a title.
Everybody wants flashiness, but Al just gives you everything you need.
Everything. And he's the veteran presence you need to steady your young guys.
Absolutely. That's who's been teaching these young guys right now about this playoff atmosphere. I don't know if you guys have seen, but like they lean on Al for everything.
And,
Well,
and Kyrie's
everything.
there helping him out too. Don't think he's not. He's on that bench every day.
Exactly.
And he is teaching Terry Rozier what to do,
Absolutely.
how to run an offense, how to lead a team. His presence has been so important, and we should be so grateful that he's there and he's so hyped for
yeah.
the Celtics. I'm so
Oh, yeah.
happy to see him happy because like that's what you want. You want your star to be happy. You want him to be in a good place.
Man.
You know, and Gordon Hayward, people have been complaining, why isn't Hayward on the bench? He's rehabbing. He's in Indianapolis. The dude, just leave him alone.
He's there.
Like, don't worry about it.
Hayward there in spirit. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
he'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna skip around a little bit. I do want to talk about the Raptors because they are a very interesting team. Toronto Raptors got rid of head coach Dwayne Casey, who led them to, I believe, 59 wins this year. Franchise record he's the reason Toronto has gotten so far as a franchise. He's a reason that they have seen so much success. And they fired him. Something had to give. Either they had to trade a guy or they had to fire a coach. And it's a shame. He's going to find a job fast. I mean, I'm not, thinking too hard about that. But the bigger question becomes, what in the world do the Toronto Raptors do? You can't run it back. Cannot run it back.
The LeBronto Raptors. I'll say the LeBronto Raptors. They had to find a scapegoat in the situation. I don't agree with it whatsoever. Dwayne Casey has done nothing but elevate this team each year. And you can't blame him for the players not doing what they had to do.
Exactly.
They should have had game one in that series. They lost in overtime, I believe.
Yeah.
And the whole series shifted off of that. If they had won game one, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But they lost it, and the whole thing escalated.
As soon as they lost that game, you go on to Twitter.
The psyche was gone already.
And as soon as they lost that game, if you hopped onto Twitter, you saw everybody goes that. And I said the same thing. Toronto's gonna get swept. As soon as they lost game one, that's it. You felt the shift.
Oh my gosh.
And it's when they lost, they showed a image of Kyle Lowry on the bench. And I won't forget this because Kyle Lowry was staring into like blank space, and he looked like he was battling his demons.
Man.
Like he looked like horrified. Like how did we lose again to LeBron? Like that face,
Terrible.
And it just, I don't know what they do from here. It's not Dwayne Casey's fault that his guys don't play physical like that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not his fault that no one on that team, who on that team is going to be a LeBron container?
I thought it was going to be DeRozan. I remember talking to my boy. I'm like, nah, Toronto's going to get a game. Like, they have too many pieces to not get a game on these guys. They got the baby dinosaurs, whatever you want to call them. They got smacked.
That's it.
And I don't know what to say about. I was very disappointed in them. Like, I love Drake. I love the We the North. I loved everything that was going on for them this season. I finally bought into the hype of Toronto. They got it. Why would they get swept by Cleveland? If you had asked me in the beginning of the series, would Toronto get swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who barely beat Indiana? I'd be like, ha, you're joking. But then they just lost that psyche and that
Yeah.
I don't know where they go from here. That's my whole thing. I don't know what they do.
I mean, Kyle Lowry's on a fat contract and he's 32 years old. DeMar DeRozan's on a fat contract and he's, I don't know how old, 28. He's almost 30. I don't know. Financially, I don't know where they are cap-wise. I don't know what their flexibility is. I think they're tied up.
It's just whatever chemistry you had with Dwayne Casey is now gone. So now you're restarting the whole thing with the team that you have, which may not work with a different coach. I just don't know where you go. So that's why I say they're cursed, because I don't know what they're going to do. And
I don't know. I don't know who they're going to hire as a coach, too, because that's going to be interesting.
They had an identity. Toronto had an identity.
Yeah.
Now they don't have an identity. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Snatched from them. Right?
They let that go.
They need to be.
It's not your time anymore.
It's.
I love Drake.
Man.
I love Drake.
Yeah, it's fun. Seeing him on the sidelines is like fun, and like, you know, if he's like chatting up your team, you're like, yo.
Yeah,
relax.
no, of course.
But it's like fun to see someone so invested like that. Especially Canada has one basketball team, so it's really nice to see, you know, a lot of people back that.
Yeah.
They might get a second one in the next few years. Vancouver, it's on the other side of Canada, used to have a team. Vancouver Grizzlies moved to Memphis. They had a great logo. It was a very angry-looking bear as opposed to the Memphis, which is kind of not very angry-looking. It's upsetting. But I don't know. There's no answer. There's like, sometimes you look at a team and you're like, all right, you got to blow it up. All right, like I have literally this one case. I literally have no idea.
They jumped the gun.
Trade Valanciunas?
They jumped the gun.
They
jumped the gun.
I think they might actually trade Valanciunas.
They need. Listen, they're done. I don't see Toronto doing anything ever again. I'm sorry. Call me whatever.
Especially in the division with Philly and Boston.
Now you're on the East Coast with us, and we're not, and we're only going upwards. And we have a core. We have a coach. We have a team we're growing together. You don't blow that Toronto. You blew it up way too quickly. So I lost faith in the LeBronto Raptors, or the LeBronto Baby Dinosaurs.
There it is.
Done.
There it is. Oh man. Speaking of disappointing playoff exits, Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City got Donovan Mitchell. All right. That kid, first of all, I love Donovan Mitchell.
Facts.
He's awesome.
Big facts.
Okay. What?
It didn't work.
What?
It just didn't work.
Here's my thing. I don't think it's ever going to work with Russell Westbrook.
Oh, man.
Look at Victor Oladipo's numbers in Indiana and look at them last year in Oklahoma City. Okay? It's night and day.
That's true.
It's not going to work. Listen, and Paul George, I'm not letting him off the hook either. He had a terrible series. He had a terrible game 5, 6, whatever it was. They were in Utah and they got beat to game 6, I think. He was atrocious. He couldn't hit a 3. No one on that team could hit a shot. Carmelo's washed.
See, I just don't like what they did to Carmelo in that situation. He's not an off-the-ball player. Never been. He's never been the guy that's going to go off the ball. He's like, give me the ball. I need my shots, and I'll make the offense happen. They didn't give Carmelo a lot of time to do that over there because, I mean, you got Westbrook, you got Paul George. And it's just like, I wish they found a way to even out all their usage because maybe they could have been better. But, like, it was like Westbrook had to do too much, and he shouldn't have to play like that anymore.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate.
I mean, there is a part of me that thinks, hey, if you run it back with just Westbrook and Paul George, and then you surround them with maybe a little better bench, a little better pieces. You don't have Carmelo anymore. Maybe it's a little better because I don't think that Carmelo trade was necessary. I felt like it was this weird, unnecessary trade they really didn't have to make. Because you have Steven Adams, who's a good big. Russell Westbrook, Paul George. That's a good unit. But Carmelo has a player option on his contract, which I think is for $23 or $28 million.
Yeah. You
know the dude is not gonna go anywhere else. He's gonna opt in. That's a lot of money. Over $20 million in 1 year.
It all depends on. I don't know how it's gonna go over there.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul George leaves.
That's what I'm saying.
The Lakers are on the table,
of course.
My thing about the Lakers is, if I was them, you want to chase free agents. That's fine. That's great. They have a young core, in Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma.
Yes.
Who's been a surprise this year.
Yeah.
Why would you sign like a LeBron? I personally think LeBron would actually be a bad signing because I think he stunts the growth of Lonzo. Lonzo's a point guard. Lonzo needs the ball in his hands. And I think that it just doesn't mesh. These are all 20, 21-year-old kids, and LeBron's 32, going to be 33 years old, or 33, going to be 34. It's one of those. It's just a weird fit for me.
Yeah.
Even if Paul George came over, it's still a weird fit. They're all so young, and the bench is really young. I don't even know who's on their bench.
I can definitely see Paul George going to LA. I can see that just because that's where he's from, you know what I'm saying? And just like, he's not as old as LeBron, and it's like Ingram, and they can learn from Paul George.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Paul George, he plays off the ball, like they can mesh. I agree. I don't see LeBron on the Lakers because it does stunt the growth of Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo. Just because LeBron needs the ball, like that's how he plays. So
yeah, if I was the Lakers, I'd be like, and it's not what the fans want to hear. You know, LeBron comes here.
Yeah.
If you're looking from an organizational standpoint, grow with your guys within. Maybe sign Paul George, but you're building something here. Brandon Ingram's getting better every year. And listen, we are by no means Laker fans, but from an NBA neutral perspective,
they got some young talent.
You know,
of course.
Let your young talent grow.
Of course.
That's it. The Celtics have let their young talent kind of grow.
And
Granted, they're still really young.
Yeah, but
they have let Terry Rozier grow. Marcus Smart.
Everything
brought up in a system.
Everything happens for a reason.
They've been brought up in a system with the same coach.
That's it.
You have to keep the coach consistent too, and you know it'll get there. Give Luke Walton a little bit of a break. Let his roster get a little better.
Yeah.
And fun fact, before we leave, guys, you ever look at Jason Tatum and you're like, oh man, this dude looks like Paul Pierce.
Of course.
Baby Paul Pierce. Even Paul Pierce has embraced it. He's like, that's baby me. Look at that. His dad, Jason Tatum's favorite player is Kobe Bryant. Understandable. His dad used to make him watch Paul Pierce tape because Tatum's game and his physique is so much like Paul Pierce. And he's more athletic than Paul Pierce, of course. But you notice when he plays how patient he is, letting the play develop.
Oh, yeah.
How patient was Paul Pierce? A lot of his moves are like Paul Pierce, and it's so cool to see it because, I mean, the city loves I love Paul Pierce. So to see a guy who can play like that, and he's longer, he's more athletic.
Oh, yeah.
And he's smart. Like, it's such a cool little fact just to know.
Oh, yeah.
That his dad would be like, no, watch him instead.
Watch Paul.
It'll be better for you if you watch him.
And it's just funny how he's on the Celtics, and it's just funny how he's playing that role right now, man.
That's it. Baby Paul.
Unbelievable.
Baby Paul.
Unbelievable.
Well, this is a good one, man. Good to see you.
Yo.
Go Celtics.
Go Celtics. I love the team.
We're hoping for a finals berth, you know. Maybe next time we do this show.
We swagged out.
We're sniffing NBA finals.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it would be a good one, too.
For sure. No, it would be
a good one.
Of course.
Nah.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us, folks. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you back soon.
Peace.
You gon' be a lion or you gon' be prey? Hunting for the title, I'ma be the predator. Doing what I gotta do, beating every competitor. I am so raw, excuse me, pardon. Rockin' to the top, Dwight Howard, James Harden. So I'm ballin', like I'm Jim Jones.